Ezekiel Cheever and Marshall Herrick arrive at the Proctor house and apologetically provide a warrant for Elizabeth's arrest. Cheever reveals that Abigail Williams is Elizabeth's accuser. Cheever discovers the puppet Mary Warren gave Elizabeth and is shocked to discover a needle stuck into the puppet. It is proof, he says, supporting Abigail's story that Elizabeth's spirit stabbed her with a needle. Mary Warren is summoned and admits that Abigail sat beside her in court when she made the puppet and stuck the needle inside for safekeeping. Unconvinced, Cheever and Herrick take Elizabeth off to jail in chains. John demands that Mary Warren accompany him to court and retell the story of the puppet and the needle, but Mary says Abigail will kill her if she speaks a word of it. Mary then warns John that if he tries to say anything, Abigail will expose their affair. With the arrival of Cheever and Ezekiel, we see that Abigail Williams' plan to destroy Elizabeth and marry John is in full effect. The puppet Mary Warren gave to Elizabeth earlier in this act becomes the evidence Abigail knowingly manipulates for her own gain. But she had to stab herself with a needle to make the charge stick, evidence of just how far she was willing to go to achieve her sinister goal. Proctor sees the puppet story as an easy one to discredit. He assumes all it will take is Mary Warren telling the court what she already knew, that Abigail saw her making the puppet in court, and that Abigail must have devised the stabbing story to implicate Elizabeth. The only trouble is, Mary is terrified of incurring the wrath of Abigail. Remember the pointy reckoning promised in the first act? Mary has seen too much already to doubt Abigail was serious. John is forced to consider the limits of his own testimony. For Mary warns him Abigail will expose their adultery if he dares say a word. At the close of Act 2, Goody Proctor, Goody Nurse, and Martha Corey are in chains, headed to jail. And those that might help them are either like John Proctor, silenced by sinful shame, or like Reverend Hale, blinded by foolish faith. As Hale himself says, the jails are packed, our greatest judges sit in Salem now, and hangings promised. A bleak situation, if there ever was one.